Well guys, welcome to the video and XDefiant's last day being online. And if you guys are watching it at a later time, then most likely than not, this game is already done. So we're checking out the multiplayer one last time. I got to play the game for the closed beta and the open beta, and of course when it launched. And I mean, sad to say guys, is leaving. It's done. And this game right here joins a long list of other games that have been closed or shut down for like the last year or two, and it sucks, but it's the way it is. And it was supposed to be okay. I know a lot of people online and just the way people are online called it the COD killer, but I mean, it was never gonna reach that height. But it's not even that, it's just the fact the way they pushed the game. The overall reward system and unlockables system, I think, was a big issue that played part of the game's life cycle when it comes to playtime, because you could play, let's say, a day or 2 days or a weekend, and just I don't think you would unlock a lot of things. It just wouldn't be rewarding to, let's say, you playing a different game that has unlockables and different things to unlock, attachments for like a weapon or factions, and this game had quite a lot. You had factions with different abilities, and I think that's the best part. That was a really cool part because it revolved around the Ubisoft games. It's their own games actually. You have Watch Dogs 2, Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Far Cry 6, Ghost Recon, Phantoms, The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, and so forth. So that was really cool, but the way to unlock certain characters from said faction, or like I said already, attachments for different weapons, camos, equipment, and so forth, I think all of that was just very convoluted and not as rewarding, or just rewarding in general. So all of that was an issue. I mean, heck, even the store, it's a free to play game, so you had to pay for, I mean, somewhat cool looking outfits, I think at the end, or just let's say with the last updates came in all the good stuff, which were going to come later anyways down the line if it was going to be still alive, with the Assassin's Creed season. And we also had apparently future seasons that they had planned, future updates, but they all just threw it into one big update for the final update. And I just wanted to jump in and check out the multiplayer because I personally really liked and enjoyed the multiplayer for what it was. I did like the addition of the factions with the abilities slash, of course, being from different games. So you had groups from different games there. Especially one of my favorites was definitely Watch Dogs. I love the Watch Dogs series. And lastly, before we jump into the match, guys, let's talk about the multiplayer side, because yes, we did get the modes all grouped up in the quick play side. Quick play, of course, you can just jump into any mode, but if you go to play menu, you can check out the modes here because they've been kind of grouped up together. If you go to more info, you can see the modes here. We have, of course, domination. This game had domination, occupy, hotshot, TDM, and pretty much those are the modes. There also was a mode, I think one of them was kind of like a kill confirm type of mode. Also one was an escort type of mode because you can move it to the other sections here. You had escort, zone control, and tilt. I don't know what's the difference between escort and tilt, though I know zone control is kind of like a battlefield-esque type of mode. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And we also had, of course, the bombs. I don't know what this is. We also had like one life type of mode as well. And another thing to add before we start is the faction side. Let me know in the comments below which faction is your favorite. But we had some new ones for the final update. The Assassins one. We had the Omega Force for Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. But personally, for me, my favorite one is definitely Libertad. I know a lot of people loved I think it was this one, the Ghost Recon one, where you can go all invisible. You had that strong pistol. I believe that's what the ability was, the special, the ult, if you will. And we also had DedSec, which was for Watch Dogs. I know some people really like that one. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out XDefiant one last time. We'll probably play a couple matches here, maybe like a match or two, maybe 3 matches depending on the mode. But here we have also different maps that they kind of mixed it up with, and we'll have our final thoughts at the end of the video. But for right now, let's go ahead and check out the Arena Mosh Pit and see what we get. Alright guys, we're playing as the Assassin's Creed faction, and I think this is hardpoint, so let's go ahead and see how this goes. Wish us luck, and let's begin.
Our adversaries have turned the zone into their little hideout. Fix them. Capture zone contested.
Oh, my...
That's one adversary. Capturing.
Time to hunt.
Doing your thing. Good zone defense. Can't get nothing past your squad. They got another hot shot. Assassinate him. Their hot shot's down. Assassinate him.
Time to hunt.
Hot shot on our team. Cover them while they get the goods. Two hot shots, not a friend. Drop 'em. Remember, our hot shot earns extra points from each shot. Assassinate them. Hot shot on our team. Cover them while they get the goods.
Nowhere to hide.
Enemy team has another hot shot. Pretty sure we're about to win this. Nothing like a little revenge.
Turret on Overwatch! going? You're such a bloodthirsty rabbit.
Kinda messed up here.
We're winning! Our gang's doing this right. Go fill the enemies with old. Perfect execution. We're about to win.
Enemies capturing. Target towed. Capture zone is moving. Every assassin's nightmare.
Efficient.
Zone's got trespassers. Capture zone contested. Capture zone contested. Taking the zone. Have to state the obvious. Start fire. Capture zone contested. Capture zone contested. Zone contested. Zone's got trespassers. FYI, you're burning. Very sure we're about to win this. Zone contested. This one's just coming down to the wire. Zone contested.
Time to hunt.
Protect the zone. Taking the zone. Don't move it. There hits it. Five, 4, 3. Zone contested. Catch one. And once again, on the right side of history.
And there we have it, guys. That is it for the gameplay on XDefiant, and literally it for XDefiant. But you know, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I definitely liked the factions, the fact that they used Ubisoft games as the factions. That was really cool. And also, I mean, the customization, very COD-like, and the maps based off of the, of course, worlds from those games, which I really enjoyed. I like that. I like that they did that. They utilized their characters and of course the themes and of said games in the factions, and just for the look of the maps too, which is really cool. And also I wanted to add that there was a future theme or season planned for the rabbits as well, so I think there was that too that they never got out, and I'm sure there was other ideas and, like, of course, planned seasons that they wanted to throw into the mix. But I gotta say, the Assassins group / faction was cool too. But again, guys, sad to say that this is another addition to the ever-growing list of closed online games getting closed because, or just not being able to play online with matchmaking, because you can jump into some online games, but I mean, it would be kind of pointless because you can't play online. Some you can still play privately and you can invite friends and whatnot, but for the most part, the online access, the online multiplayer play, you can't, you know, have access to or even jump into. So this is another game that's sadly going into that list. Another one that recently just got delisted or just gone is Multiverses. So that was a huge hit, and for a lot of fighting game fans that like that type of fighting games. But this one is an FPS per se, or specifically, and it just didn't get the people. It didn't get the fans, and the main talk here for online and the internet talk was definitely just the COD killer, quote unquote COD killer, right? No, I don't think it was ever going to reach COD level, and or just defeat COD. Yes, there was that hype, and I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't even their fault when they released it. I think they should have released it before Black Ops 6's release. I think that was the height of the hype, but it released, I think, or just, you know, when people were getting tired before the new COD came out. I think this game should have released. That was the sweet spot, if you will, but it took some time. You know, it released at a bad time, and just after people forgot about it, that's when it came out, and just, it was good, but its downfall was definitely the amount of time it took to level up or just get certain things, and there wasn't really any reward at the end for you putting all that time and effort versus getting stuff from like other games like Call of Duty. Again, very COD-like indeed, for sure. And a lot of people might be saying, wait, why would I play this when I could just go play Call of Duty? Yes, there was that price tag in Call of Duty, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're playing this, why not just go play COD, I guess, for as an FPS fan. And I still like Call of Duty, but this was still a nice substitute for sure, and it's free to play. I mean, why not, right? And it had the COD multiplayer modes, and just, again, the customizations and everything, the factions, but there was that old school feel to it, which also is another plus that a lot of people missed, and the simplicity of it. What I'm trying to say is the longevity of playing this game definitely didn't get you a lot of different things, and also the fact that there were maps that were locked into certain modes, or certain amount of maps locked into certain modes, so you can play all the maps. Let's say on Occupy or the Kill Confirmed mode I played, I think not all the maps were in all the modes, which was kind of weird. They locked in certain maps with certain modes, and or just the list of maps. That was kind of, you know, a bit weird too. But I would definitely say the first thing I said is definitely the downfall of it, and also the fact that the company didn't really push / support this game as much as one would, and also the release of the game when it came out. The timing of it just wasn't good. I don't think that the timing was great. I think they should have released it a lot earlier than when it came out officially, but at the same time, it's not their fault. I think internally it was a whole situation behind the scenes of like when and the process, and it was a whole thing with the developer. But aside from that, guys, I mean, rip XDefiant, goodbye XDefiant. It was fun while it lasted. I know a lot of people did enjoy it, but not that many people, because the player count just diminished. And this is a whole conversation and for like a completely separate video, but the last thing I want to mention here, and my take on it, is if you're not an established game or a big established IP, I guess you could say, in this case, i.e. like Call of Duty, Rainbow Six, or Counter-Strike, you know, a game that's lasted and that's been live for a long time, especially when it comes to multiplayer type of game, it's hard to stay relevant nowadays with so many games. Just so many games. There's too many games, in my opinion. There's just too many games. At the same time, that's a plus, because there's a game for everybody. You know, if you like FPS, if you like Souls-like, if you like adventure, puzzles, if you like survival, if you like horror, you know, there's so many different types of games out there nowadays. Depending on the price range is like insane too, whether if it's free or not free. But a quick free-to-play FPS online game with microtransactions, like with skins, you pay for the skins with the battle pass and everything. It's hard to stay alive, especially for this one. It was going to be impossible to reach that. Like I said, I was sure this was never going to beat COD at all, and or reach that level. It was going to be definitely a feat to do so. But like I said, going back, I just think the market is just very oversaturated with so many games out there, and just too many games to stay alive. That's why single player games, smaller games are thriving and just getting that fan base, while games like this will be alive for a month or two, and that's it. That's literally it. You're not gonna survive 10 years. You know, this game like this right here will not survive, and was never going to survive 10 years or 5 years. I don't think so. But a game like, for example, like PUBG, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege. You can also throw in like DayZ, Apex, Counter-Strike. Like I said, those games have been alive for quite a while now, a little bit. Some 5 years or more, others a decade. So those games are hard to beat. If you're coming with a new IP, with a new game coming out that's similar to those games, it's definitely going to be hard to beat, and definitely a impossible task, almost near impossible task, to stay alive for a whole decade. In this case, this game being compared or similar to Call of Duty was never going to reach that height, that level. And yeah, it is free to play. Yes, it was fun. Yes, it was cool the way they did it, but again, it had its drawbacks, its setbacks. The mobility was there, kinda. I think the mobility after playing this game today, it's okay. I do like the smoothness and just the feel of Call of Duty the way it is now. It's definitely a lot smoother. than it was before back then, but it has that classic feel at the same time with a little bit of stiffness to it. They did have the factions, and yes, we have seen that before, even in Call of Duty with Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, we've seen that before already as well, with the quote-unquote abilities, equipment, and special abilities that each quote-unquote operator has, right? In this case, the factions, and also for Call of Duty BO3, BO4 with the operators. So I mean, it's a lot to compare here, a lot of similarities, and it was gonna be tough, guys. It was definitely gonna be tough. Not to down the game, not to be, you know, negative towards the game. It's just, it's gonna be hard to beat. That's simple as that. And that's it. That's all I can say about that, guys. But was it fun? Did I enjoy my time playing the game? Yes, I did. Like I said, I played the closed beta, signed up for it. I played the beta. I enjoyed it. I played the launch day. It was fun. I know a lot of people did have their issues with it, with the camos, the grinding, the XP, the reward system. The longevity of playing the game for a long time wasn't really there for the rewards as a player. Maybe with unlocking the calling cards and the camos and the attachments was a whole thing. At that point, you can maybe chalk it up to the company not having a lot of XP being earned, or just enabling a lot of XP to be earned by the player playing. So I mean, I don't know, but again, the whole life cycle, the whole game itself was definitely going to be a challenge. It was going to have a challenging life cycle. In the end, guys, the game XDefiant had a lot of boxes it wanted to check, and yes, it did check some of them, but there was just a lot more that this game needed, and or just was it could have stayed alive a little bit more. Could it have reached more boxes being checked, and or hype, fan build up, maybe popularity, you know, who knows, maybe a whole other year, given the game a whole other year, perhaps, maybe, or it maybe could have been near dead, and that's why they pulled the plug. That's why Ubisoft said, nope, you know what, we're done. We see the numbers here, we're cranking up the numbers, we're seeing maybe a year from now this game will be completely dead. If not, no one's gonna be able to play the game, or just not a lot of people will be playing the game. So why would we continue to support it? So they just pulled the plug and ended it. So that's it, guys, for XDefiant. Rest in peace. Goodbye, XDefiant. You had a good run for the very short run that you had, but COD KiLLER, nah, it was never gonna be COD KiLLER. Was it fun? Did it have good maps? Did it have good modes? Of course, the usual base modes for an FPS. Yeah, it was great. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I love the factions. I love the different games being used here. A lot of callbacks, for example, like with Splinter Cell, of course, Ghost Recon Phantoms, heck, even Rainbow Six Siege, The Division. Good stuff. I like the themes there. Great stuff. The modes, like I said already. The maps, the maps were nicely built / made, with the decorations and the look of the detail of course, being set from the themes for said maps, or brought from the maps themselves, or some were even ripped away from said game too. So that was that was really cool. So all of that looked really nice and succeeded in its own way, but at the same time, again, had its drawbacks, and well, the result is right there, guys. It's done. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, this first and last video for XDefiant. And if another big FPS game comes out, I know there's one that is very Battlefield-like, and that is called Delta Force. Once the new Battlefield comes out and the new Call of Duty comes out, who knows where that game will land, but for right now, I know a lot of people are enjoying that game, and that game's pretty damn good. But will it meet the fate of XDefiant and other free-to-play or / online games that have been delisted? Who knows, but I have a feeling that game might be thrown into that list. I don't know, it might be too early to say right now, but who knows, guys, who knows, because there's a lot of free-to-play games that recently have come out and or expanded from PC to consoles, or just have come out on PC and consoles. Another game I can throw into the mix of this list that perhaps could have the same fate, let me know what you guys think about this one, is The Finals. It's a lot of fun. It's great. It's entertaining. It's really fun. It's a good game. But will it survive another 5-10 years to 10 years, a decade from now, will that game still be alive? I don't know. I really don't know. I would hope so. I'm crossing my fingers. I like it, but who knows? And most recently, there's a game that just came out. It's free to play. It's a lot of fun. It's good. I love the first iteration of it, and that is Splitgate 2. I love Splitgate 2. I love the mobility, the weapons, the gameplay. The game itself is a lot of fun. But will it survive another 5 to 10 years? Hard to say. Don't think so. Not to be negative, guys. It's hard. It's hard. It's gonna be a hard feat for those games and those type of games like the ones I mentioned already to survive another 5-10 years. And the perfect example is this right here. This is a game like that came out, that was hyped up, that enjoyed the launch. People enjoyed the launch and enjoyed its trailers and the build up and everything that was there. And it was marketed to be just a good game with the FPS genre and the factions and just everything that was backed up behind it, right? But now look at the result. Look at the result. This is a perfect example of what could happen to those other games I mentioned and or future games that will come out, because there's just too many games, guys. Again, that is a whole different video I want to do eventually. But with that being said, I'm done talking here, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Take care, guys. Stay amazing, and I'll see y'all with the next one.